Let's go!
All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers, and we are back with another episode of Zaya&TheSteelers. We are on episode 23, the Jordan episode, and we are following a big W against the Buffalo Bills, undefeated in the preseason, 2-0, never lost, ever. Crazy, man. So in this episode, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. The main topic is going to be discussing Jaylenwarren and Najeeharris, because there has been a lot of takes about the situation. There has been a lot of takes about Jaylenwarren's run. There has been a lot of takes about Najeeharris's runs. And really, this is something, if you've been watching, I've discussed for a while. And I've already, said a bunch on it, but I'm gonna say a bunch more. I'm going to bring everybody back down to earth so we can stop living in hot take land, so we can stop trying to have the best take of the day, and just really the only outcome that's going to happen, because it's not like we're going to eventually, or it's not like we're just going to start Jaylen week one and Najee's going to never hit the field. That's not going to happen. So we'll talk about it. I also want to give a shout out to Nick Herbert. I want to look at some of his highlights. And then, just some other highlights from the game and talk about some players from the preseason. And really, I have some kind of news. I'll show it right now. I started to make shorts. And post on TikTok and Twitter, or X now, and even Instagram. So we'll talk more about that later. I will leave all of that in the description. But nonetheless, with all of that said, we're up to 39 subscribers as well. I forget what we were at the last episode, but the channel's been doing pretty good. I also uploaded a video yesterday, a day old. So if you guys, if you didn't see that, definitely check that out. But anyways, let's get into the video. So I want to start it off with this. I want to start it off with this GIF Nick Farbaugh posted. Shout out to Nick Farbaugh. Me reading all the Jaylenwarren versus Najeeharris discourse today. And this picture, this GIF, I think it's GIF too. If you guys are a GIF person, come on, it's not peanut butter. What are we doing? So in this GIF, as you can see, SpongeBob is just the tiredest of sponges. He just is over it. And really, that's how I feel. I feel like that's how a lot of people do feel about this, because it's not like it's going to change. Like, it's not like Jaylenwarren once again just won the job or anything like that. That's not what's going on here. What's going on here is people are starting to loudly come to the realization that, hey, this Jaylenwarren guy maybe could use some more snaps, People are loudly figuring out, like, yo, Jaylenwarren, when he runs the ball, he looks great when he runs the ball. Now, I'm saying this loudly thing. I'm saying, people, because I was saying this for a while. In fact, I have some receipts here. I do have some receipts. I would like to play this. Shout out to the Ascent Sports page. Shout out to the post-game reactions. This is what Zaya&TheSteelers started, baby. So 2-6 at the bye, horrible. But just I want everyone to listen to what I had to say at this point in the season last year about the Najeeharris and Jaylenwarren situation, and I want you to think about like what's going on right now and the questions we ask ourselves right now versus when I was saying this. And let's just wean in some snaps from players. We can wean in some snaps from players like Jaylenwarren. It stinks to see how Najee's playing right now, because shout out to this layout, by the way. I might go back to this. We got like the like chalkboard look. I don't know. This is fire. Oh shit. Good. But it kind of is cool for me, because before the season even started, I was saying, yo, we need like a 1-2 punch like the Cowboys. Yeah.
We need like a backup running back that's like pretty good, because Najee, his first year, he totaled a lot of good stats.
Yeah, I've said that in a more recent video on this channel. I have a video with Najee on the title, and we talked about Najee. Najee did total a lot in his rookie year. He totaled, I think, maybe like 1,500 rushing yards, maybe like 8 to 10 touchdowns. He ended up with good stats, but it our line was so bad, and he didn't he wasn't, in my opinion, he wasn't like flying off the screen. He wasn't making play after play after play that was like, holy shit, this guy's a guy. Like, he had stiff arms, he had the hurdles, he's big, he was trucking people. Yeah, sure, but he didn't have like that really.
Think about Ezekiel Elliott in his rookie.
Ezekiel Elliott, he says. All right, so I'm gonna pause it right here. Just the main point right there is Naj doesn't fly off the screen, right? And to that point, I still kind of hold firm on that. I still kind of believe that when Jaylenwarren is running the ball for us, when Jaylenwarren gets his snaps, like Jaylenwarren, the way he runs, like it's flying off the screen to me. Now, I want to preface all of this by saying, like, of course Najeeharris is a great football player, and of course he's a good running back, and of course he's our starter, and of course he's going to be the lead ball carrier. Of course that's going to happen. But Jaylenwarren does need to get the ball more. That's just it. It is what it is. And not only does he need to get the ball more, but it has to be willing to give him more if needed. It has to be willing to even up it. Like if Naj is 25 carries, Jaylen should be at like 15. And from there, it should be monitored for right now, because listen, man, I don't know. I'll take it. If the Naj fans want to come after me, it is what it is. Naj hasn't he hasn't had a season in where it's like, yo, it's his job to lose. Yo, it's his job and it's solidified and like it's Naj or nothing, like to me. And granted, Jaylenwarren has not gotten a lot of carries, and Jaylenwarren hasn't had that number one bell carrier, bell cow running back, thing going on. He hasn't had that. But Naj has had it, and our run game has been ass. And our offensive line has been whack, but it's been getting better. And it wasn't until we also got Jaylenwarren and it factored him in, and the line started improving, that our run game actually started doing something. Now you can just say, okay, the offensive line improved, thus the whole run game improved. But I'm telling you, man, I really think having Jaylenwarren out there started fucking turning heads. And I don't have the play up right now, but you guys have seen it a million billion times. Like it's this play in the thumbnail. Jaylenwarren just absolutely, flies off the screen and takes a run for 60 yards. I don't want to, hot take headline here, but Naj hasn't done that. He hasn't. So that just is what it is. And in saying that, though, I can be allowed to say that. People can be allowed to say that and then also say, okay, but Naj still is good, and Naj still can play, and Naj still is the starter, and Naj and Jaylenwarren are a duo. The only gripe I ever had was Jaylenwarren just like wasn't even thought of. Jaylenwarren, it wasn't a duo. It was Naj, and then maybe when Naj got fucking super tired or something, then it was Jaylenwarren. Maybe when, Naj had 3 straight carries for 3 yards altogether, maybe when that happened, maybe we sprinkle in one Jaylenwarren play the next play. That's what I've been. That's all I was saying. We need to get Jaylenwarren some looks. That's really it. And with that said, I still hold firm to that. So I'm going to kind of skip a little bit here because I was talking about Zeke, but
not happen with Najee.
Let me.
Like games like that, it has just never happened. It has not happened with Najee.
I was being much more mean to Najee in this video, probably.
The one time he did, I think it was against Cleveland in Big Ben's last home game.
He had a very good game in Big Ben's last home game.
That he has like 1 or 2 games like that where it's like, okay, this guy is like a beast. But other than that, it just has it's just, for whatever reason, I believe Najee is good. Did you see him at Alabama?
Did you?
He's good. I believe that. But for whatever reason, it's just not happening. So we're gonna see it through. But Jaylenwarren, when he gets the ball, he flies off the screen. I'm not saying Jaylenwarren is better, of course not. But the plays that are being made, just they impact us so much, and we're dying on this Najee hill. Jaylenwarren is.
All right, I'm gonna let it go there. And listen, in thinking about it, I'm chilling right now. I'm gonna say it, man. Jaylenwarren might be better than Najee. But I can say that, and fucking Adobe Reader can update. I can say that, and so what? It doesn't matter what I think. Maybe Naj is actually better than Jaylen, but from what I've seen, man, Jaylenwarren when he gets his opportunities, he does his thing. So it is what it is. And to me, this is a great problem to have. To me, it's like, oh shit, we got 2 fucking elite running backs. And what's funny is I catch myself saying this, this whole elite running backs thing, 2 of them. I'm only saying this when I'm grouping them together, but I feel like individually, if people can get off that Jaylenwarren hasn't shown enough for him to be even a factor in the number one spot, or for him to even get a significant amount of playing time. Like, if people can say they've watched Jaylenwarren play and then also come to that conclusion, if people can get that off, I feel like I can get off. I've seen Naj do the same thing, like play the same games with the same lines, and to me hasn't blown me away either. I can say that. I feel like I should be allowed to say that. And Naj has played well given the circumstances. I know that he's played well and he's totaled great, but it is what it is. And so it is going to be a duo. It is going to be, a running back by committee situation. But in saying that, Naj should be the number one guy, and he should be the guy getting the most carries. That to me shouldn't even be, a question, because, for his running style, he's the power guy. Of course he should get more carries. And of course, Jaylenwarren in spurts, is going to be more efficient of a running back. Of course, that should be, easy opinion to come to, that should be easy. I don't know how it's got to be Jaylen or nothing. It's got to be Naj or nothing. I don't know why, people have been on that. But it's going to be running back by committee. It's going to be a duo, and I'm excited for the duo. I said it in this video right here when I was talking about just the game itself. I said that I didn't want to talk about negatives, and I still don't want to get too negative because we're 2-0. Our offense is elite. This isn't even really a real story. I just kind of am searching for clicks, I guess. I don't know. This isn't even really like a story. The story is we just fucking murked the Browns, we murked the Bills, and we're going to murk the Browns eventually in the season because our offense is clicking, because our defense looks pretty good. That should be the story. And so really the Steelers, once again, this is just another case scenario of the Steelers suffering from success. We are just elite at drafting. We're elite at getting undrafted free agents. And Jaylenwarren, you are a fucking problem. Najeeharris, you are a fucking problem. And we're a problem. Kenny Pickett running the football is a fucking problem, So shout out to us, shout out to the Steelers, and shout out to Naj and Jaylenwarren. And can we stop putting them against each other? Can we stop one or the other? It is clearly a committee. It should be a committee. And now that the Steelers have actually gotten around to it, I apologize, I got cough, but now that the Steelers have actually gotten around to recognizing that Jaylenwarren is a piece that we got to use, it should be a movie. It should be smooth sailing from here. Now, as I mentioned, I do want to talk about Nick Herbig, because this has been somebody who I don't think I've talked about a single time, honestly. And really, I'm glad that there's multiple sources of the Steelers. I'm glad that there's multiple, people talking about the Steelers. I'm not just the only one, because if I was, we would not know about Nick Herbig, because I have just done a disservice. But Nick Herbig, this edge player that we drafted, gets to learn behind TJ, gets to learn behind Alex Highsmith, and look at the talent he already has. Guys, do you see how low to the ground he is right now? Do you see how how low he is, and he's still able to get up and make this play? Come on, we got to get a gunshot there. Here we go against the first team. This is the Bills' first team offensive line right here, just absolutely blowing by him, getting to Josh Allen, who still gets the pass off, but it's whatever. And then against the Bucks, just absolutely manhandling their offensive line, just running right by him. He's too fast. I don't know, man. Nick Herbig is a problem. Our edge rushing department is almost like the evolution stable, you got Ric Flair, who at this point is I don't know, James Harrison or some shit. Ric Flair is like James Harrison. It could be TJ, but TJ's kind of still, priming out. So I think Ric Flair is like James Harrison or some shit, right? And then Triple H, the guy who's the current champion, the guy who's the guy right now, the guy. That's TJ Watt, of course. We all love TJ Watt. And then Randy Orton and Batista, that's Alex Highsmith and Nick Herbig. I swear, we got studs everywhere. And if you guys are WWE fans, you know how Batista and Randy Orton turned out to be compared with Triple H. They all ended up being on that level. So, I mean, shout out to Nick Herbig. I really look at, once again, it's 4 plays, but he's just absolutely dominating. He's absolutely winning here. And it's very good to see. Shout out to him. And shout out to our middle linebacker department. Shout out to them, but shout out to our edge rushing department. Shout out to our scout team, and shout out to the University of Wisconsin, because Nick Herbig's from there. We got TJ from there. You guys are just churning out these edge rushers, and I fuck with it. Shout out. Now, really, I that was a main point there, but I kind of just wanted to get that off. Now, I kind of want to talk about just some overall points about what I've seen from the team. So far this preseason. We still have one more game in which starters will be playing. I found that out today. Starters will be playing in the next preseason game, so it is what it is. So we'll see about that. But some kind of key points that I did want to bring up is, one, Kendra Green is not having a good run of it. I don't think Kendra Green is going to make the team. And if you watch the last episode of Zaya and the Steelers, I'm going to go ahead and click it just to get something on the screen here. If you watch the last episode, we talked about Big Ben burying Kendra Green, and I kind of criticized Ben for doing it. And I still stand by it, as we're up to 40 subscribers live on the podcast. You guys saw we were at 39. We're up to 40 live on the podcast. Shout out to you guys. What was I saying? So yeah, I kind of criticized Ben, and really it was just about Ben being like the former quarterback and Ben having like this big voice, and Kendra Green is doing his best to make the team. That's really what it was about. But you know, Ben was telling the truth. Like, the truth is Kendra Green hasn't been playing well. He's not wrong about that. The truth is, you know, we did draft him as a center who played a guard, or he was a guard, and then we turned him into a guard, but we drafted him as a center. And then he was playing fullback for us. Like, that did happen. And, you know, Ben said it was funny. I guess it is funny, but like, to me, it is sad. Cause Kendra Green, like, he's just going to get criticized, and like the fans are just going to kill him. And he's just, you know, he's trying his best and it's not working out. So shout out to Kendra Green, but I don't think it is going to work out. I don't think Kendra Green is going to make the team. So it is what it is. I wanted to bring that up because I know everybody's been talking about Kendra Green. Everybody loves to slander Kendra Green. So I wanted to say something about it. Speaking of slander as well, I'm gonna play this video and just kind of like mute it just so I have something going down here. I wanted to talk about the secondary as well, because Joey Porter Jr., if we go to this video down here, maybe, oh no, it's actually after this. If we go to down here, Joey Porter Jr. gets an interception, and this is a nice little highlight for our defense, right? It's a nice little highlight for our secondary, but I do think our secondary is, you know, something to kind of be a little spooked about. I don't know. We lost Cameron Sutton, we lost Akila Witherspoon, we lost a bunch of people in the secondary, and of course, we were going to regress. But I think on our defense, I think with the pieces we have, like with the TJ Watts, Alex Highsmith, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Cameron Hayward, like with the pieces we have so many elite players that I think we'll be able to kind of make up for it in other departments. Now, not to say that we're just not going to, miss not having a corner or whatever. Not to say like we're not going to struggle with having, maybe a suspect corner room. But I think we'll still be okay. And in saying that, and saying we have a suspect corner room or whatever, I don't want to just slander, because it seems like we've been making splash plays. So right here, Joey Porter Jr. gets an interception. Earlier in the game, Elijah Riley got an interception. Later in this same game, Chandon Sullivan gets an interception. So I mean, we've been ball hawking, but from what I saw in this game, I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest and objective to you guys. I saw Patrick Peterson out there a little bit at the very beginning of the game, and from what I saw at the very beginning of the game, it was kind of spooky. Now, we started putting up touchdowns after touchdowns, and, Jaylenwarren took a 70-yard run to the house, and so, things got a little blurry from there, if you know what I mean. So, maybe I wasn't locked in fully on Patrick Peterson. It wasn't the Patrick Peterson cam, so I don't want to just put out misinformation. But from what I did see, it was looking a little sus, and that's our Cameron Sutton replacement. So it is what it is. Joey Porter Jr. though is locked down. He looked locked down. Elijah Riley's locked down. Corey Trice, when he gets back next year, will be locked down. Terrell Edmonds, he's not on the team anymore, but we won't be missing him because KZ's locked down, and Keanu Neal is locked down. So it is what it is, but I did want to bring it up, and we still have one more preseason game to get into. And I believe in that preseason game, we're going to be playing the Atlanta Falcons, and they have Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson is this running back from Texas, and they drafted him pretty high, and he's supposed to be a guy, man. He's supposed to be someone who is about that, And if he happens to play against us, I would really like to see how our first string defense does against Bijan Robinson, because one of the big things that I've been wanting to see is us being able to stop the run, us being able to stop runs at the first level, not letting it get to the secondary, not letting it get to, the third level past our safeties. We've been having to stop runs, at the line of scrimmage, and that has been a big key for us. And so if we can play the Falcons and we can play against Bijan Robinson and we kind of slow him down, we kind of, lock in there, like, to me personally, I think that, would be huge. That would be a great sign to see. And so I look forward to playing them. The Atlanta Falcons also have Bud Dupree at this point. And so if he's healthy, I'm not sure if he's healthy, but if he's healthy and playing and they're playing their starters, I think we'll see Bud Dupree again. They still have Drake London. They still have Kyle Pitts. And so it would be cool to see how we line up against Kyle Pitts. Speaking of Kyle Pitts as well, in the Bills game, Dalton Kincaid, or I don't know his first name, but Kincaid, the tight end that they drafted, he looked pretty good. He was kind of putting Cole Holcomb, in a little bit of a blender, but Cole Holcomb made up for it, so it is what it is. But Kincaid looked good. It's going to be interesting to see how we look against Kyle Pitts. And then also looking at Drake London, he's kind of had an iffy-ish, I guess, career so far. It's been really early, but it's been kind of iffy, and so he's looking to get back on track. And then of course, the quarterback situation. They have Desmond Ridder, who's also going into his second year, like Kenny. So they have Desmond Ridder. They also have Taylor Heineke. Even I am a big fan of Taylor Heineke, and so when he plays, I'm going to be excited for that. But yeah, I think that our next game should be pretty interesting as well. Really, it's we're getting right down there to the season, man. I'm getting very excited. And in terms of like the news, in terms of like the stuff going on, really, it's Quan Alexander's in this picture, by the way. I wanted to bring Quan Alexander up real quick because, he's elite and he's probably going to make the team. And I was speaking of making the team, what I was going to say is it's getting down to like the time where like we got to make our final roster predictions and all that. And so I definitely think that is something probably before the preseason game, or maybe after the preseason game, I'll probably make our final 53-man roster or whatever, or something like that. Maybe just at key positions, for example, like wide receiver. Like I think a guy like Hakeem Butler, I think he's trending maybe down, probably towards not making the team. Whereas Gunnar Olszewski, based on what I've seen, based on snaps, like Gunnar Olszewski was running with the first team offense, or at least in like a heavy run set formation. And, the 67-yard touchdown, like, hey, man, you probably did your thing. And if we look at special teams, like our special teams was doing good. Calvin Austin got a pretty good punt return. Calvin Austin, I don't know if I've mentioned him yet, but Calvin Austin played fucking fantastic yesterday. So good. He's definitely making the team, and it's going to be very fun to see him play. But people like Gunnar Olszewski, like I think he's probably going to make the team. And then our linebackers too. Let me bring this up quick. Our linebackers too, Cole Holcomb and Eladen Roberts. I think they've been looking all pretty good. Quan Alexander, I mentioned, he's been playing very good. So those are big pieces that we were able to add, and I'm pretty excited about. And like I mentioned it in this video currently, or this video on the screen, I mean. And in this video, I've said, I'm excited. I am very excited, guys. Like, I can't wait for the season to start. I really think we're going to turn some heads. I really think, we're going to be kind of a shocking team, maybe. Not shocking if you're a Steelers fan, but kind of shocking to the rest of the NFL, kind of shocking to the league as a whole. I think that's going to be our thing. And, maybe, just maybe, we fuck around and win the Super Bowl. Who knows? Really what the goal is, I keep saying this, and I'm going to stand on this. The goal every season until it happens is playoffs and one playoff win. Because that's the stuff that hasn't happened in a while, and that is the only result that we can have besides winning the Super Bowl that is a positive at this point in time. Because once again, we've gone through eras. We just, 4 or 5 years ago, we were a perennial, at least top pick in the AFC to come out and then never really do it. But, we were at least a preseason top pick, That was us at one point, and we're far removed from that. But we're trending back. We're trending back, man. And I've said this over and over and over. But I think I'm going to outro it with this. Also, apologies on the shorter episode today. But I feel like with this video, plus today has been kind of hectic for me. We're going to get to some more stuff later on in the week as well, but I am kind of nearing the end here. But with that said, I am excited for the future, and I wanted to bring up other things. So, like, for example, I am on TikTok now. I have started a TikTok page, and this has 700 views right here. Big W right there. So I'm on TikTok as well. I showed the YouTube Shorts. I am on Shorts as well, and on the old X profile, X Twitter, used to be Twitter, now X. I am going to be posting more onto here, so I will leave these in the description. And I kind of want to centralize the audience. I kind of want to bring everybody together. And so if you're here from like TikTok or a different platform that's not YouTube, hello. Or if you're here from a short, hello. Like, what's up, guys? I'm really excited for the season to start. Like I've said, I'm really excited for these discussions to grow and us to have future discussions about the Steelers, and just to see, one day, man, am I gonna be like the Steelers guy? Am I gonna be the commentator? The guy who is like and that's gonna be a Steelers first down. Like, that guy. Like, is that gonna be me? Who knows, man? But I think, like I said, that is going to do it. Really, a really short episode here, 26 minutes. But, I don't want to cheese it. I don't want to try to pretend and, think of topics or whatever. I don't want to cheese it for you guys. I want to give you guys my honest feelings, honest opinions. So with that said, I appreciate you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications.